Hi everyone, this is Sherry. Welcome to my quilting world. This week I am streaming from my RV at the campground. I came out here to get some sewing done and some relaxed time, and I've almost got two quilts done, which I'm very pleased with. So I'll show you those later, but I want to welcome Jessica from Sewing on the Bluff. She came in. I asked her if she would come in and be my guest today. Um, we both were working on the same quilt that, and it, I guess we inspired each other. She was faster than I was.
It was a squirrel. I had to do it.
You had to do it. It's called the pickle dish variation quilt. You can get it off of Etsy for $4. I can't remember who. I don't have the paper with me right now, but that is what that's called. But I'm just going to say hi to everyone, and then I'm going to give it to Jessica. We're going to say hi. Katie was the first one in here, and Mona's here. Jim. Good afternoon, Jim. Melanie made it. She wasn't sure. She was going to set an alarm, see if she woke up to it. Dawn and is here, and Zaza says hi, Jessica.
Hello.
And Joe, Vintage Style by Joe. She's saying hi. She's she's lurking like grocery shopping. Yep. And Lisa, she's lurking too. Why working? Working and lurking. And Tasha, thanks, Tasha. She made it in. And she's doing the same thing. There's a lot of people playing hooky at the moment. Christina's here. Welcome, Christina. And okay. Well, I'm glad everybody did come in and join us in that. I want to let Jessica talk, and she can have as much time as she wants. I'm on vacay mode, so you're not going to get a lot from me, but hopefully Jessica can help.
I'll try to talk as long as possible.
Okay, thank you.
No, I was so excited when Sherry asked if I wanted to come and show my quilt. So obviously she shared the pattern in all the groups. I want to say I didn't even print it. Red pepper quilts, pickle dish variation. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to use what I had instead of buying it, instead of printing out the foundation paper piecing, instead of using that pattern. I figured let me play with what we had. And after brainstorming some of the sizes with you guys, I was able to still come up with 12-inch blocks using the 3.5s here and here. But for my star points, I used my big old bucket of half square triangle cutoffs, right? When we do our sew and flips and we cut them off and have no idea what to do with them, I've always been afraid to toss them. So I've kept them. And so the only thing that I did that you could see multiples of would be the actual star points. Everything else was done as a single scrap use. I have boxes and boxes of scraps, and so I just went through and, if I was able to get the drunkard's path cut out, I did. If I was able to get the 3.5, I did. And then for these, just digging around and finding some that could work. But I wanted to show how I was able to modify it. And this is the template set that I have. It's the large Marty Michelle drunkard's path set. It can work from the 6 to 7 inches, and it comes in a 2-piece, and it comes with multiple patterns inside as well. But it does talk you through those 3 sizes. I wasn't able to do the way the pattern called with, I want to say, the 3.5, because I didn't have a template in that size. And so mine are just larger kissing pineapples or spiky lemons, or I don't know what someone else said they saw.
Squids. They said
Squids.
squids, kissing pineapples, chickens.
So yeah, I mean, it's a much larger cut than what the pattern had asked for, but I still think it worked. I did want some continuity in the scrappy, to control it a little bit. So I did go with backgrounds. I used about 1.5 yards of that pink batik and 1.5 yards of the green. It's a square. I'm an oddball. I don't do rectangle quilts very often. So it is 25 squares, right? 25 blocks. It's a 5x5 grid. So I ended up with 13 of the pink and 12 of the green. But it's fun. And I can't wait for you guys to see Sherry's too. And if anyone else is making them, we need to see progress pics.
Yeah. Do you want me just to show mine real quick?
Yeah,
and then
go ahead.
I'll give it back to you.
I'm just going to keep talking about the wall.
Okay. I'm just going to, you can't see the whole thing because I'm not,
Mona, the pattern was one
close.
that Sherry shared in the groups. It's the pickled dish variation by Red Pepper Quilts.
Yeah.
So there's Sherry's, and she went even scrappier than me. Her background squares are all scraps, and hers is huge.
Scrappy.
Nope, I love it. I think it's great.
Quilt that never would get done.
Now she used the foundation paper pieces, so on hers, in this area, hers look like actual diamonds in a square, I think is what it was called. Mine don't give that shape like Sherry's does.
It doesn't look like it doesn't miss anything.
Well, no, but like with yours having those precise cuts.
Oh, yeah.
I could see the diamonds very clearly. Mine doesn't give me. Did you put yours the same way where you tossed and turned them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I had to look at the picture. It was one of those things that you weren't sure.
Yeah, no, I did. I laid it all out facing left or facing right. It just didn't look right. It looked better tossed. So no, I do. I had a lot of fun. It was a quick project. I think I sewed straight on it, a good 3-4 days. But I also bulk cut. So all those 3.5s, I just went ahead and cut them all. Did the math for that. And same with the drunkard's path. I just cut, all 25 of them or whatever it was, 32 of them. And then that way I could just move on quickly.
Now your spikes, I'll call them spikes, but it's where it was triangle and a square for me.
Mm-hmm.
You did it different sizes, didn't you? They were
correct. They're very wonky.
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm trying to think which one's a good one that you guys can see that shows it. They're very wonky. Some of them are going to be super teeny tiny. Some of them are going to be chunky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that. Like that.
Oh, there's one, the dark one up in the corner. Yeah. You can tell.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's where those half square triangle cutoffs came into play.
Let's see.
Zaza said, I wonder what it would look like as a 2-color quilt. As in,
like red and black
bean. Are you thinking, Zaza, like the background of the drunkard's path, then the drunkards, and then the spikes, and then the 3.5 square? Like these 4 being one color? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I'm not sure. She says.
Okay, she said
yes. She said yes.
That would be neat. And I mean, I had to pull the color wheel. I pulled that pink first, thinking I could get the whole quilt done in it, but I couldn't. And so that's really neat that it paired the pink and green. I kind of like it. It's a more of a muted tone.
Yeah,
And
I
then
like
there's
it too. I
yeah.
like the you did the two colors for the background. It's sort of like you start yours and then you see somebody else's, and I think, oh, I like that, better, or they just look different.
They do. I think that the pattern itself can be done in multiple ways, even like Zaza is saying with the alternating two colors. I think it's a very universal pattern.
That yeah, I think it's general neutral. And another thing that would be good about this one is, wouldn't it be cute as the I Spy quilt?
Oh wait, this could be. It's got lots of goodies hiding in it. Thank you, Sharon. I like that green thrown in there too. Oh my gosh, no, I have pumpkins. I have octopus. I got I want to say it's a Cherokee rose, the Georgia flower. I got teapots. There's watermelon slices. Oh, it could totally be an I Spy.
I know. And I know that Melanie was doing the I Spy quilts, and somebody else was too. And it made me think of that. Yeah, green and pink go really good together, and they're batiks, so that's really nice. Hi, Leanna. All traveling. Yeah, hello, all traveling. So let's see, everybody else. Sharon's in here. She came in while we were talking, and they like your quilt. What's the pattern? It's by Red Pepper. You can go on Etsy and get it, and it's called Pickle Dish Variation. And the pattern was $4 for the PDF. And I've lost my friend. I lost Jessica. Jessica, it was going in and out. Hopefully it comes back on. Yeah, I think you're trying to come back on. We'll give her a moment and see what happens. Well, I'm on. She's probably going out and gonna come back in, and I'll keep an eye on, see if I'll see if she comes in the basement. Yep, there she is. Let's see. We'll get her in. Where is she? I'm on my iPad, so it's a little different for me. Come on. I think I have to add her to stage.
There you are.
There.
I don't know what happened because I could see you, I could hear you.
You blinked out on me just a couple of times earlier, but it came right back. So
that's so weird. It's so weird.
It happens. That's just what happens here.
All I saw was Daza mention Jessica vanished.
Okay, Leanna just parked to pharmacy. She'll come back after her trip. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that and I was still here. Too funny.
So what else you have going on?
Well, so it kind of kickstarted my brain into thinking I need to put these half square triangles to use. So I spent all day color sorting them. And so I have a pile of blue cutoffs, a pile of brown cutoffs, a pile of pink. I've been color sorting them so that I want to do a wonky star quilt now using these only.
Okay.
And then with my scrap, so I just chose the blue as my starting pile. So I went through and cut. I'm going to do 3 different sizes. I'm going to do 2.5, so I'll get a 6-inch block. I'll do 3.5, so I can get a 9-inch. And I'll do 4.5, so I can get a 12-inch. And all of it's going to be out of my scrap bins. So I went through and made the centers of the blue pile, right? My 2s. I need to press them. They're all wrinkly. My 3s. and my 4s. And so now I need to figure out what the background's going to be. I don't know if I want to use yardage so that it's, multiple size blue stars on a white background, or if I want to use my scraps for the backgrounds too. I don't want it to be too crazy. I do want to be able to see the blue stars in all 3 sizes. I like asymmetrical quilts usually. I'm a huge fan of Pat Sloan. I like how she'll take 9s and 12s, in rectangles, and she'll just build them together. I do like that effect. So I'm wondering, with the 3 size stars with the half square triangle cutoffs, if I should use Scrappy. So my first thought, and it's sitting right here, was to use my Scrappy grays.
Oh, that would be pretty.
And that way, no matter what, each block had different gray backgrounds, but no matter what, you're going to have a blue star on it.
Yeah.
So it's sitting here, and I have to think about it before I start cutting.
You can make a sample block, see how you like
that's another thought, is make one in each size with the different backgrounds, and then lay them together and see if it's too chaotic. Or, I have a gray bucket of yardage, but I do like Scrappy. I like using up what I have.
Yeah.
And the different shapes and, different prints.
They'll be pretty. You'll have to post pictures of it.
I love it. That's why I was excited today, because I was like, hey, if you have never used your half square triangle cutoffs, please start saving them.
Yeah.
You can make this.
I end up making them into half square triangles, and I'm thinking, this makes more sense, because then you have more, you can do more things with them.
I used to sew them together as well, where you could just do the double stitch and then slice them. I do have a box of completed ones, but I don't like trimming. I don't want to sit there and have to figure out which size I can trim it to, and spend 2-3 days just trimming them all down to make something. So I stopped sewing them together a long time ago, with the idea that these could come in handy some way.
Well, they're all pretty uniform. The sizes, you end up with.
Oh, no, they're crazy.
They're all different.
They're all different.
You have different sizes, but they're very close to, aren't they?
Yeah, like right. So that's a 3, but then I have some that are 1.5s.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Right, like teeny tiny, and then I even have like huge ones. So that's why I went with the 3 different size centers.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I could go ahead and pair.
I've always wanted to do a red and white quilt, so that would lend itself.
That would be fun
too. Yeah. If I had, but I don't have enough red.
I'll send you red. I'll make you a pile. No, hold on. I'm serious. I will finish the red bag. I will send it to you.
Oh, okay.
I don't throw anything away.
Well, yeah. You just can't. It's like I have an extra block from one of the quilts I'm working on. This, the spool and star quilt I was working on, and I'm putting the borders on now. And here I cut enough that I have one whole block, and this block ends up being probably 20 by 20 or 18 by 18, somewhere like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'll just make a pillow.
A throw pillow. Yep.
Yeah.
I love.
So
I
have it laying on my bed design board at the camp at the RV. It's the bed's my design wall, so it's on there.
Nope. So. I love having that extra block that matches. So you can have a throw pillow, you can make a tote bag, you can have make a pillowcase. That way you store the quilt in it. I love the extra. That would
be cute as a tote bag.
Yeah. The last one I just finished up.
Pillowcase.
I ended up with an extra block, and I'll turn it into a label for the back.
That's a good idea. Yeah, this is going to be a big label, though. I thought about
Yeah.
using it on the back, but in pieces. But I thought, you know what, it'd make perfect pillow. So I think I'll go with that. Um, my husband's in the chat. He says he might join. His name's John.
No.
Hi. Thanks for joining.
Hi, John.
And Andrea, Mama J Enterprises, says she's currently working on 2-inch cutoffs from flying geese. And it comes out to 1-inch half square triangles. So that's tiny.
Yep. Teeny little pinwheels.
Oh my goodness. Matching that seam. You'd have to open those up, those seams for sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you can twirl that.
I use the
twirl my
acorn.
centers.
The acorn press is what
Oh,
I
yeah.
use when something's that small.
I do have that. I haven't used it very often, but I should more because everybody really talks about how good it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I saw somebody the other day. They took their water pen and they put their best press in it.
Yeah, who?
And they
was that Donnell?
I don't know. No, it wasn't on YouTube. It was just a picture someone was showing.
Oh, okay.
But instead of for their foundation paper pieces, right? Instead of using the water pen to rip them off, they filled it with best press and they put it on their seams.
Okay.
That kind of made sense too.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you have a channel, like you can drop your channel, just type the word share. You can, everyone can share their channels, and Jessica will share hers. Share some fantastic videos.
I didn't join the chat anywhere. I just left it as is.
Okay.
It's okay. It's Sewing on the Bluff. It's at Sewing on the Bluff. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yep.
I'm here.
Check her out.
Hi, Lori.
Yeah. Hi, Lori. She showed up, and today I was playing with leftover scraps that I had, little bits, and I know I can English paper piece them.
Mm-hmm.
But I made a little pouch here. I'm going to put rice in it for paperweight, for a weight, pattern weight.
That's neat.
And I thought I had some rice here, and I opened up some rice-a-roni, and I thought, oh, I can use that rice. Well, I open up the packet, and the seasoning mix is mixed in with the rice.
Yep. You have any dried beans with dried beans?
I don't think, but I can go to the store and get them. But these are tiny ones. But you know, they were just my cutoffs, so that's what I was doing with that. I have a lot of extra to do the paper piecing now. So, and let me see, what else did I get? I had it here. Oh, yeah. I don't know if Deb, I can't remember. Did Deb make it in?
I haven't noticed yet.
I haven't either. Deb, I got the new block magazine.
Hi, Sheila. I don't think I saw you earlier.
No, I didn't either. Yeah, my new block magazine came in. I haven't even looked at it. I took the papers off of it. But when they first came out with this book, this series, I collected every one of them. And then they stopped doing it. It's like for the volumes. So I missed out probably on a year of those. So I'll have to look and see what's new. But those are nice to do little quick patterns with and that.
Is it a magazine with patterns or is it patterns only?
No, it's a magazine. That must be Jenny. Let's see.
I always thought they were square. The block magazines.
Yeah, they used to be.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, that's
You're right. They changed it. This is the patterns that they have in this issue.
Oh, wow. I've received, I think, 2 of them as gifts over the years.
And then they give you some instructions. Oh yeah, they were good, because I had the ones where they did um this is in this issue. I had the ones where she did a lot of the disappearing blocks,
Mm-hmm.
nine patch, different things like that. And so the patterns, yeah, she ends up showing you how to do the patterns.
Okay.
And they'll end up doing them uh, on their program too. I just saw something that looked like a Dresden. Oh, it is a Dresden tree skirt.
Oh, well, that's pretty.
Yeah, so, except I don't know. I think I did do one. I did do one at home. I have one at home. So, they have, oh, here's a red and white.
Oh, yeah. That's fun.
So, anyhow, they do have the patterns in here, the pictures, and the instructions and everything in it. And so I get this once, I think this is it's once every 3 months, I believe.
So quarterly, 4
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
Or every other month.
Hi, Rita.
Hi, Rita. How you doing? Yeah. Zaza says they were square. Yeah. The block magazine is no longer square. It's rectangle. And Jenny's not in it. It's her girls. But I was disappointed that I didn't get to continue that because I have like probably 20 of her first ones that she had done. And they're nice to go back. A good reference. They're good for people who are learning how to sew, beginner sewers in that.
I have a lot of American patchwork and quilting.
Oh yeah.
I think right is that the right way to say that? Or the love of quilt. I don't know, love of quilting. I used to just skip a year, subscribe for a year, skip a year. So they just collect dust. I never look through
them. Those are good magazines too. Yeah. Zaza says it would be annoying if they changed shapes. Well, you're right, because I have a shelf and they fit perfectly in that shelf. These would not. These are too big, but it's sort of like the first ones I want to keep, but I could pass these on too. It's like it gets to a point to where you just feel like pass it on. So, are you doing anything? What's your special things that you want to do this summer well, you're getting ready for Christmas in July, you said.
Well, yeah. For me, summer is it's the swimming pool. It's the kid. So no, Christmas in July at work. So yeah, I got to bust out my class for that, which I'm going to show a sneak peek, you guys. So I just cut everything yesterday at work, and so I'll be making this for a class for Christmas in July. And then I return to market September, October, November. So I've been bulking up my trailer for that, but I want to do some of those Tilda fish pillows.
Oh, I don't.
Because all her patterns are free, and so I've been sitting there scrolling and scrolling. She has it's way back a couple years ago. She did a fish quilt with a fish pillow. It was like a 12 by 24. It was a block though, not an actual like stuffed animal type. And so I want to work up some of those, and I want to work up some mermaid dolls. I like bulk bought panels of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I can get some of those done for the booth, but if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I don't let sewing stress me out. if I have to close the door and not come in here for a week, it's okay.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I have wide open goals. If they don't happen, they don't happen. The only important ones are the ones for the shop for actual work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Did I share I shared the Halloween 3-yard quilt. That was
Yeah,
like
but you can
must make.
show that. Do you have it?
No, it's at the shop already.
No.
So like
Okay.
that one,
Yeah, that
that's a
turned out
must
cute.
make. Have to bring home, have to get it done type of sewing. So that's different, but
I like how you did that where you staggered the blocks.
oh, it was a 3-yard quilt, and I can't reach it, but I can see it. It's called Tenderness, and it was actually done in Valentine's, so their sample is pink and florals. So where I put the panels, and then what looked to me like steps was actually supposed to look like hearts.
Okay.
If it was done, in the pink, reds, and whites. But it's a 3-yard quilt pattern called Tenderness, and it worked up in one day. It was a quick one. Drip cutting for the win.
I'm just trying to get some of my quilts, some of my projects, working on them so that they're not UFOs. I'll have these two done, and then I'm going back into doing the singing in the rain. That's going to be. So I think a lot of people said that they want to finish up a lot of their projects that they had started, or do small projects for the summer. And but
usually my UFO boxes will sit there, and then I just give them to my mom. Every time she visits, she goes home with a different UFO box that has all my notes or has all my scribbles and has everything pre-cut, and yeah.
What's crazy is to go and find your UFOs that's been there, and now you don't have the instructions or the pattern with it. That somehow you put it in a different place, and it's like, okay, I can either figure this out, make a different quilt, or use the fabric.
Yeah, that's true.
So
one of them was made out of vintage sheets that I had started. Everything was cut, everything was labeled in baggies for their blocks. It was the original Swoon from like 15 years ago.
Is that the big block?
It was her 16 count one.
Okay.
So it was the original one when she first released it. And I don't know what I was thinking, and I don't know why I was doing it in vintage sheets, but Mom says it's coming together nicely.
Oh, so she's finishing.
Yeah, I gave that to her a couple months ago. She takes it to her sewing group.
Well, that's good.
So, they're big blocks. I think they're like 16 or 18 inch blocks.
Yeah. I did a Swoon, and they were the big blocks, and that was one of my UFOs. Mm-hmm. And I knew I needed two more. I think I needed 2 more blocks, but I didn't have the fabric cut, and I thought, I didn't have the fabric to do it. I didn't have it, so I did it in what I had.
Yeah.
And that worked out good. So yeah, I have Mona had been getting some vintage fabrics, and is going to be doing some of her bags.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Crafty Witch. I don't know your first. Wait, if I really think I might get your name, it's not Linda, is it? I can't remember for sure. And June's here.
I'm terrible with names unless they have them written. Like Jim. I can say, hi, Jim.
Yeah, that's easy. That's an easy one.
That's why it doesn't bother me with people don't know mine, because I don't have it written in there. So.
Zaza says that my little pattern weights would smell good if I did the seasoning packets. I'd always want some rice-a-roni then,
You can throw some lavender in some of them.
Yeah, I could. There has to be something I can. Yeah, I'll go to the store. I figured I'll just do up little things like this, and then when I want to fill it, I can fill it. But it's one of those things, though, that it's not fun to sew them shut.
Mm-hmm.
because you get them filled and then you can't get them even with the. I guess I could hand sew them in that. So
I was in a pincushion swap using miniature blocks. And so, we all had to make the fronts and the backs and seal only 3 sides. That way we didn't ship the actual weight. And I still haven't stuffed mine or enclosed it because nobody wants to do that part.
I was in 2 block swaps this year. One I have not put together, but I got the blocks. But I just got the I was in Donna's block swap for and handmade by Ying by Donna. She
Okay.
had a block swap, and my husband says, you got some fabric or something," and I says, "I bet you that's from the block swap." And so I had him open the package today, and he had to lift each one up. That one I'm excited to do because we only had to do the background had to be white on white.
Okay.
The blocks could be any block that we wanted to make, and they had to be 12 and a half inches. And so that is going to be, I'm really excited to finish that. I've gotten, I got one from Zaza. She was in there in the
Oh,
swap.
fun.
So I
haven't done block
hers
swaps
and
in long.
Jess's. Yeah, Jess was in there. She had done it. In fact, somehow I think they messed up and somebody didn't get one of Jess's because I got 2 of her blocks. But that's okay. They're cute. And then we got our own. And what was nice is that I didn't know how I would like it because she wanted us to sign it and where we were from. And I thought, I don't know if I like that with, putting it. But, you got the blocks and it was really nice to see the blocks and their names on them. Mm-hmm. So I like it.
I have a box of blocks with signatures from a couple years ago. But I think we had a color theme. So like everyone had to make a 10-inch out of greens and yellows or something. Or like one of them was purples and blues, right? Like they were different sets. But I haven't done block swaps in a couple years. It's been a while. I do swaps though. So like I just finished up a table runner swap. I have a zipper pouch swap coming up that I'm signed up for.
That I seen some that you had done that's on your channel.
Yeah, that really one someone cute. Sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean they're fun. I do a lot of mine through the Sewing Loft. Heather Valentine. It's just a website and her emails, and I just sign up for the whole year for her swaps, and I mean they're really organized. And she has angels, if someone doesn't ship for some reason.
Okay.
She does send out angel swaps, and
that's good. So everybody ends up getting it. Yeah, I think that if you pick a good place to swap, you'll get good blocks, good quality, and good workmanship. I think if you just swap, sometimes you don't know what you're going to get, but that's part of the swap. Everybody's at a different level in that.
Yeah, she has where you can mark, beginner or comfortable or experienced or. Okay. I don't know if that makes any difference, if she's actually pairing people that way.
When people ask a question, are you a beginner, intermediate, or expert? It's like, isn't there something between intermediate and expert that we could use?
I'm a comfortable calico.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me too, Sheila. I miss crystal swaps as well. And that's actually one of the videos Sherry just mentioned was one of when I received from Crystal. So the Crystal Heart channel. She used to run swaps.
Yeah.
So those are always fun. And she would do hers by like she would always say like a mug rug, could be one of the options. But then this month we're also going to open it up to a zippy pouch, or we're going to open up to a mini wall hanging, or each month was something different, or default back to a mug rug.
Okay.
So those were fun. You can't see too many on my wall. You can only see 2 of them there, like miniature wall hangings. But up above the quilt, the top of all the walls are covered in mini
Wow.
quilts. If I can hold on, see them?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And it just goes, and it goes all. I mean, I cover.
Wow.
Yeah, I cover my walls in mini quilts. So
That'd be fun.
yeah.
Do you like doing them?
I do. Oh, and so a lot of them are from swaps, and some of them are mine, but a majority of them are from swaps. The one that's furthest away, I think, is dated maybe 2011. And then I always tell Sheila I have her strawberry right there, front and center.
Cute.
But yeah, they're fun, and I think it's a great way to decorate if you have the space to do it.
What do you think your favorite quilting is? Is it improv, miniature quilts, foundation?
Probably miniature improvs, right?
Oh, that
So
would be interesting.
right, and so if I'm in a swap, for example, my last one I did with the paper piece frog and the sun, and it only came out to be like a 12-inch square, and I don't even have a picture of it. But I took what she said in her little bio, right? She loved frogs, she loved nature, she loved the garden. So for me, it was fun to make her a miniature quilt. I improved, as in I took that frog, I took the sun as outside, and then I took floral fabrics, and I free motion quilted them down for the texture and for the visual of putting the frog in the garden.
Oh, that sounds good.
Right. And I think I even appliqued on clouds that I had cut out of other fabrics.
So you went by what they kind of tell you about what they like and things. Now,
Yeah.
do you have a video on how to do your miniatures, or
I'm
while you're doing your miniatures?
Not while I've made any. So way back when I very first started the channel, there is a garden fairy, a fairy garden swap. It's a little short. It's like a little video, and it just shows you pictures that I put together because I didn't have the piece anymore. But that one, I built her a fairy garden out of all my fabrics. And I hand cut fairies, and I stitched them down. I hand cut snails. And then I used my free motion quilting to build them in layers.
Now you do a lot of free motion quilting.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
Now, do you have a sit down or a stand up machine?
I have a sit down Juki Miyabi.
Okay. And it looks like you've been doing it for a while.
I think I got it in 2021. I think. Right? Because 2020 I was home and quilting, but I was using a long armor a couple counties over. So yeah, I had to do the sit down. It was not a natural feeling trying to do the stand up long arm. I thought I wanted a long arm on a frame. I went and test drove multiple. I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit there and hold it. I wasn't comfortable. It didn't feel natural, right? I can't stand on my feet in one spot. And at the very end, she had a sit down handy quilter, like a Sweet 16 or something. She had something right at the end of the store by the door. And on my way out, she was like, why don't you sit down and try this? And I was like, I didn't even know what it was. I was like, well, what is it? She goes, it's a long arm. It's just sitting on a table. I sat down and was able to do a whole sample.
Hayward. Sorry.
Nope, you're okay.
Okay.
I was able to do a whole sample with her in the shop that day. And so she just, she sent me home with papers on all the brands she offered, on all the models and all that stuff. And, yeah, I was able to come
I,
home with that one.
you know, like I have a stand up, but as far as the sit down and having that nice table like you and Lisa have, I think that would be good. I mean, the motion to that you use to quilt, it's very natural to, feeling to me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to do it like that. Um,
Oh, I could write
maybe
you a
because I started out like that.
Okay, so you started out sitting down and then went standing up?
Yeah, and even I still like to get on my sewing machine that I have. It has a big throat. I still like to get on there and do free motion. And I'll do a design. I don't know. One time I did it. I just kind of, it's improv.
Mm-hmm.
You do it and see what comes out of it. And you
Mm-hmm.
might end up seeing a birdhouse, but you didn't start it out as a birdhouse, you know? Uh, so you practice your feathers, your pebbles, your different things, you know, and then it kind of goes into stuff. But I've saved those. I've saved the samples that I did when I free motioned, and the little sample pieces that I did just playing. I even have pictures, photographs of when I first started quilting. And
Mm-hmm.
it's funny to go back and look at that, but it's good. I mean, anyone who is interested in doing free motion, uh, try it, because it's like if you can see it in your mind, you can make your hands do it. If you can see it in your head,
Yeah,
does it make sense?
for me, it just reminds me of drawing in a sketch pad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, well, I'm going to do a hat. Well, I'm going to go up, down, side to side.
Yeah.
Or
You
on
think
my
of it.
son's Christmas or Halloween quilt, I did big, huge spider webs, right? Because I knew how to draw a spider web. I was able to just, I mean, I have some where I've drawn birds. I've drawn, I did a whole Christmas sampler where I drew drums and I drew mouse, and jingle bells. And I just see it. It's a very natural movement because I used to like drawing, I think, when I was younger.
Yeah.
Right? Or I could even now try to draw it. Well, it almost seems easier with that needle doing it for me. Yeah. But yeah, the standing up, whew, that was a hot mess.
Yeah. I know that when I was practicing, I would practice by either a sketch pad or dry erase board, you know, just doing the things, the motion over and over. And that helped learn how to do the muscle memory from your
Mm-hmm.
hands to your brain when
Yeah.
you was going to go ahead and quilt. But what's the biggest quilt that you quilt?
The biggest quilt I've ever free motion quilted was a 75 by 75.
Okay.
And that was once. And that is never again. I'm seeing Zaza mentioned she didn't have gloves on when she tried it.
Oh, it makes a difference.
Correct. I can only do the no gloves on my domestic.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but if I am on my long arm, I have to have the gloves on. I tried the little pads. They were like grippy pads, and I wore them out. I don't know what I was doing wrong to them, but they came apart. But yeah, the gloves are definitely a must.
You can do garden gloves that have the little rubber,
the little dots on them.
You just, if they fit tighter though, you feel more in control. If you got big garden gloves, you know, to me, I like a tighter fitting glove to quilt with. But I think it helps with the hand strain too, by wearing gloves.
Oh yeah, and raising the seat higher. A lot of people, oh, my shoulders, my neck, everything feels like I'm hunched over, and I slouch in general, anyways. But when I free motion, I have to bring my chair as high as possible, and I have to get up and over the project.
Yeah.
That way I'm not like this. Because if I catch myself doing this, I know it's time to stop.
Yeah, you do have to take breaks when you're doing free motion on a. It doesn't matter if it's a sewing machine or if it's your sit down or whatever. You do need to take those breaks. And 'cause Zaza says that she struggled holding the fabric, but I would suggest that someone start with a smaller piece so that they're not tugging on, dealing with that weight of that the quilt. And you can make a difference with the weight of the quilt by sometimes you lower your ironing board and
and use it as a table, as a stabilizer to hold.
Right, or open up the drawers of your sewing table and let that, because the weight of the quilt, if you're having to deal with the weight of that hanging as you're trying to manipulate the fabric to make the design, you'll get worn out. You'll get sore. Yes, Mona, my dog is named Lacey. Lacey May. Yeah, and Zaza, you can use those gloves with the rubber coated and try it again. Just try a smaller um, piece so that you're not pulling that, having to deal with the weight of the quilt at the same time. Yeah, Zaza's found that hand quilting was easier. That can hurt your hands too.
See, and I've never hand quilted. I've been learning the embroidery wool stuff, but I've never actually hand quilted before.
Yeah, I like working on the with wool. It's like butter. Some of it, it's just like stitching through butter. I like the look of it to applique with the wool. I used to do the what kind of the wool? I forgot what it's called, but it's the wool that's more raw, that's fluffy, the felted, where you felted the wool.
So before being felted, like almost
like you could. It looked like cotton almost.
Yeah, and the long.
Yeah, I did some of that.
The one where you have to form it.
Yeah, I did that, and I really enjoyed doing that because I had the little thing, and you could. I have this little purse that it's not really a little one, but I gotten it at and I got it at Goodwill, I think, and it I did something on that. I'll have to pull it out with the felted wool.
I had a coworker. She made a whole little set of animals, and so when she left and moved out of state, we all got one. So I have a little felted rabbit.
That's cute.
Yeah.
There was a snow man quilt that I had done, and there were 3 different sizes. So for their eyes, I felted their eyes, and one might wink, one's open, and all that. That was fun.
I'm gonna have to take a picture and show you later because I could see it from here, but I can't reach it. Someone felted me a snowman ornament with this cutest little carrot nose and a scarf and everything. I'll have to show you. But no, it's amazing to me how people can do that in their hands, how they can get the shapes, how they can get, the designs and the structure. Yeah, it's
we'll have to look at that. Yeah, my dog is at the doggy spa. She's getting her getting beautified, and Amona has a dog. His name's Lacey, and its middle name's May too. I just thought it was cute too. And Zaza, you had a question about how many blocks. We were supposed to get 21 blocks, but there was one in the block swap. There was one person that wasn't able to meet the deadline. So she was like going to be short. So she didn't end up putting her blocks in. So that's 20. But to tell you the truth, it's easier to put 20 blocks in a quilt than it is 21. I thought, where am I going to put that extra one in? Because we started out with 20 blocks. And then they added one more person. And it ended up being 21. So I think we should end up with 20 if that one person is not participating. Mona loves the stand up. Yeah, I raised my table. That made a big difference. Because my stand up, my long arm, my back, my shoulders, they just hurt. And I'm thinking, all these years that I've been doing it with, hunched, made a difference. So, well, is there anything else that you'd like to say before we go?
No, it's just fun to talk.
I know. It was fun.
I don't get a lot of adult conversation during the week, I'll be honest.
And I found out that Crafty Witch, which I should have known, it's Andy. She's been on Katie's, the Greenland Quilters channel. She goes on there with her.
Okay.
And in fact, next week, I asked Katie next Tuesday if she would like to come on and visit with us. And she says she would. So she's going to be on there. So I don't think I miss Crystal swap. Sheila says she misses. Does Crystal not swap anymore for her bags? Do the swaps?
It's been a while.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it's been a good 6 months or so that we haven't swapped with Crystal.
Okay. Well,
you never know.
I'm gonna close this. I like to watch Elise Beck. She's the EPP society teacher. She comes on at 3, so it's terrible, isn't it? I gotta go. So anyhow, I thank you for joining.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
And I enjoy it. I enjoy when we get to sew on Discord and that together.
Yes, no, it's fun. And thanks for sharing the pattern. I mean, to find a link from 10 years ago, I think it was, right? It was dated 2014 or something like that. No, I think it's great. And I appreciate that,
Yeah, I like to do that if I can, that if something excites me, I like to share it with others. And I appreciate everybody that joined in today. And you guys have a good day.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you in the chat. No,